Now, everyone's been talking about this new Cam Capone News interview with Fat Joe where he says that he did an album with Biggie and they had 8 to 10 songs recorded, but it's most likely been burnt because it was so disrespectful when they were dissing Tupac. A lot of people have been calling cap, so we're gonna break things down and see what is most likely the truth. Now, Joe was on Vlad TV back in September of 2018 and said he was making an album with Biggie and they had recorded 4 songs. He said Puffy was the producer and so were the hitmen. Now, back in March of 2021, Joe went live with Swiss Beats and Timbaland and he said they had 5 songs. That's right, 5 songs. Man, roll the clip.
You know, I say stuff, Tim, and they always say I lie or I say too much. You know, I worked on an album with Biggie. We cut about 5 songs together. He was like, you the Latino Dawn, I'm the Black Dawn. And we was in that studio going crazy. It's verified by Puff Daddy and everybody. But we were like, I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. At the time, we were like dissing Tupac a lot and all that. And so that should have never seen the light of day, which is respectfully so. Because, you know, they both passed on, you know. But, yeah, I work with the B.I.G. for real.
Now, I don't want to call Joe a liar, but when someone lies and tells stories, they often don't remember how they tell it, so they forget certain details. The 4 to 5 songs mix up, okay, we can forgive that, but 8 to 10? Biggie must have been resurrected and went back into the lab, bro. The other situation is that Joe was on the radio back in '95 and spoke about the East Coast, West Coast situation. And he said some things related to Tupac that got the Puerto Ricans in prison to start coming at Pac. He said he ended up speaking with Pac on the phone and there were no issues with Pac, so he got Charlie Rock LD to hold Pac down.
East Coast, West Coast, Biggie's my man. And to be honest with you, you know, they were really, I want to use my words correctly. Let's just say the West Coast was like leaning on New York, like really leaning on New York, like hard. The pressure was legendary, and the New York rappers, you know, they just wasn't really coming back at them like that. And they was just violating, right, doing crazy shit. And so I'm in the radio one day, and they asked me the question, yo, Joe, what you think about Tupac and all that? I said, yo, he's cool, but, you know, if they step to me, it's gonna be some shit.
Yeah.
So I said that on the radio, not knowing Tupac's locked up upstate in New York. The Puerto Ricans hear that, and they're, Poppy, Tupac got beef with Fat Joe, no. And then we was still in the street hard.
Right.
So I said that in the interview. You got to be careful. Your words could really create problems. So then I get on the phone call. I get a phone call from Greg Nice, who pretty much put me in the game, one of my brothers. He said, yo, Joe, I got Pac on the other line. I was like, Pac? So I pick up, and then Tupac, I don't want to elaborate too much, guys, but what I'm saying is Tupac was like, yo, these Puerto Ricans is on me. Like, you said something in the radio. I don't got a problem with you, Joe. Like this, I know what's up, this. And so, you know, we sent the kite out to the Puerto Ricans and be like, nah. This ain't about that. Not on the strength of me, don't do that. And then they wound up being real tight with Tupac in there and holding them down in there. That's how that came about. But be clear, y'all, I know I talk a lot of shit. Yeah. I talk a lot of shit, but I never told that story in 20-something years.
So why is this relevant? Why would you send a kite to Charlie Rock LD to hold Pac down, but then be dissing him on records, and you know Pac allegedly spoke on the phone with you and said there were no issues with you? In December of 2021, Lil Cease was on Vlad TV and he said Biggie wanted to speak to Pac directly and told Junior Mafia, if any of you guys record a diss track, I'm no longer fucking with you. He also said nobody did any records. That's how strongly he felt about it. In January of 2022, Lil Cease was on the Art of Dialogue and said he never heard of Big doing any songs with Joe. He said he heard them discuss the possibility of working on some stuff. Lil Cease was with Biggie pretty much every day. He said Biggie wasn't trying to do full-on diss tracks to Pac. He did some subliminals here and there, but not full-on diss tracks. But the interesting thing is that he made his opinion clear that he doesn't think an album exists. Now, there's a rumor out there that there's a clip that was on World Star Hip Hop a few years ago about Diddy addressing the whole situation with Joe and Biggie having an album together, and he said that he knows nothing about it. So I cannot confirm or deny that it actually exists since I have not found the actual clip. It's also hard to believe that someone like Diddy that is really about his money would let songs go to waste, especially since Biggie didn't record high volumes of music to be released posthumously like Tupac. But I can also see the side of not wanting to release them if they were Tupac disses because it would be distasteful. Now, when I interviewed Cuban Link, he did confirm that Joe had a relationship with Biggie, but highly doubted the existence of any songs, let alone an album between the two.
But I know Biggie. I met Biggie. We met Biggie. Me and Pon, we did something with Biggie. You know what I'm saying? Puff let us get up there.
Okay, so what about Joe saying that he was with Biggie every single day?
Okay, we're not gonna do this again. I told you, he wasn't doing the album with fucking Biggie. I told you that. They asked fucking Puffy that in the air. Puffy said, I don't know what Joe talking about. That's Puffy. That's like a better of Joe, but better Fat Joe. Like, that's the nigga who knows everything and is a business mogul and do that. That's why Joe is trying to be like Puffy. You know what I'm saying? But Joe is just...
I've never seen that clip.
Yes, it's there.
Of him saying that.
I was there. So you go check it. It's there. I was there. I don't know if it's a clip on YouTube, but I was actually there. So I'm like this. Because that nigga was capping. So he caps like that. He goes overboard.
So is it possible that an album exists consisting of anywhere from 4 to 10 songs? Yeah, it's possible. Now, is it likely because of all the things that have been discussed today? You know. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this, man. Do you think the album exists? Put your thoughts down in the comments and make sure you like and subscribe and stay connected with Panda Chop News. Peace!